All right, well, welcome everyone to today's Sumo Logic customer brown bag session. My name is Lisa Carnes. I'm going to get things kicked off real quick here for us. So just to reorient the group, if you haven't been to one of our brown bag sessions before, we started the series earlier this year, and they usually happen on the second, third, and fourth Tuesday of every month. We have a modified holiday schedule this month. So today will be our last session of 2023, and then we will pick up the normal scheduling in the new year. And so for today, I'm super excited to have one of our senior product managers, Greg. He's going to be sharing our AWS Observability 2.7.0. He has a couple slides, and most of the time will be spent in the product. And with our usual way of going about this meeting, you are able to chat. I have opened the chat up to everyone, and you can also use Q&A as well. I'll monitor the chat and Q&A, and if there's something that I don't know the answer to, I will chime in for Greg to help us out here. So without further ado, let me go ahead and stop share here, and I'll kick it over to Greg.
All right, just let me manage the screen and start sharing. All right, so slideshow. All right. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Greg. I'm a senior product manager at Sumo Logic. So I'm dealing with cloud observability topics, and basically AWS Observability is one piece of that, our solution that allows you to basically, what is like on a couple of words, you probably know already most of that, but obviously what is AWS Observability? So we have created this solution in order to, let's say, provide like a full visibility into your infrastructure, into your AWS infrastructure. So basically, it provides a unified view across multiple accounts, multiple regions. So it's we can deploy it across all your available regions where you host your infrastructure, and basically we create this kind of cohesive view with hierarchy on the left, where we recognize all this stuff. So it makes you easier to go through understand your infrastructure, start to see out of the box dashboards. Basically provide you with already with very high level of understanding what's happening on the general level, and also identify particular issues. There are metrics. It's based on metrics and logs. And obviously it's powered by our log analytics. So there are such tools like Root Cause Explorer, or you can utilize also the log compare, log reduce, our AI powered operators that can help to isolate or reduce the noise among your logs that are collected from an application, right? And also from the infrastructure. So just like in a nutshell, in order, just like for you to remind us, we have a couple of it consists basically of like 12 plus services, and we are adding more and more. We do have plans to obviously include more and more services, but obviously nothing prevents you from adding and from customizing the experience. We have the kind of options like stack linking, right? So you can just like install individual apps and attach it to one of the nodes of the Explore hierarchy, so it will be visible, right? So we can also customize the dashboards, right? So if anything doesn't suit your needs, then you can also save the dashboards, change the panels, add new ones, combine multiple panels, and then reattach it to the Explore. So then you can obviously because every application architecture is different probably, so we won't find two very same architectures. So obviously that kind of flexibility is also there. So a part of what we are providing out of the box, there are also a couple of customizations available. All right. So what we bring, I'll be speaking like not much of a slide, but just like a couple of highlights in terms of what's in the new AWS Observability release, and obviously what kind of features, because we've not we've not been having this session around AWS Observability for some time. So what is actually on top of that? I'll show what kind of features we also released one major feature related to workflow, but that I'll speak to a bit later. But okay, latest updates to AWS Observability. So like I said, we are enhancing the visibility into your infrastructure, and then we are recently pretty much focused on logs. So what we have added recently are the log-based troubleshooting use cases for AWS RDS, and that includes dashboards and panels related to slow query logs, audit logs for MySQL databases. So you will be able not only see with the current RDS app how your RDS is performing, but you'll be also able to identify and check what might be the reasons of and what might be the top slow queries that might slow down your application and your users' experience, right? What might impact those? So that's what's been added. Middle of the year, we have added also SQS. I'm not putting that on slide, but SQS has joined the AWS Observability. So again, if you're using that service and ingest, you can also ingest logs and metrics data. So you can also troubleshoot some average age of old messages, whether your queries are emptied correctly, so whether the messages are picked up from the queues or whether they are not residing too long in the queues. So that's there as well. I can show that in a second as well. So that's for the content. That's what you will see explicitly. But what you won't see, perhaps, but still it's make a lot of difference, and it's quite useful for you. It's like we have added the support for the latest, I would say, major version of Terraform provider, which is like 5.x. Yeah, we've seen some feedback that what we've been providing up to now, I think it was like up to 4 point something. So that was like for customers who were moving on with this like quite a popular infrastructure as a code tool. So we heard the feedback that okay, they would like to adapt new providers, new releases. So that's what we have upgraded as part of AWS Observability deployment. So obviously it's not something that related to content, but it helps you to be on par with the latest and greatest releases, right? So we tend to focus also on that. And last but not least, we also did update the Lambda functions runtimes to the latest Python and Node.js versions, like due to like deprecation policy of AWS. And that was also our goal. And yeah, so there are a couple of Lambdas. Like if you don't know, we use few of them as part of AWS Observability, right? So for instance, there is Lambda running and with like checking. It's automatically subscribing to CloudWatch log groups. So in case you create some instance of load balancer, for instance, that Lambda is responsible for recognizing, hey, there is like a new load balancer instance. Let's collect the log from this one, right? So it's monitoring those log groups as well. And yeah, and there are other two examples of Lambdas, right? For CloudWatch logs forwarder, right? So if you use CloudWatch logs API, then obviously there's like Lambda forwarder, and that was also updated to the latest runtime version, as well as the function that is used to set up the metric streams, right? The Kinesis metric stream. So that were the updates for AWS Observability. And yeah, when it comes to the features surrounding AWS Observability, we have also released this new workflow that helps. Actually, it's more targeted for like a new users, for early users, early adopters of AWS Observability. But I think it's worth mentioning. Obviously, we have like a comprehensive documentation for for that, but we would like to also give our users the possibility to be guided and help them to deploy AWS Observability. So we have come up with this kind of experience built-in product. So that you won't need to go to the documentation. Like for experienced user, it might not be the case, but for those one who would like to start or would like to be assisted with that process, we have also provided that workflow, and I can speak to that. Just now, because I'm now moving. Let's move on to the demo part. All right, there is some chat, but yeah. So just let me get rid of the Zoom panel, and then I can move on. Okay, so again, it's still okay. I'm now it's good. All right. Okay, we can. The workflow is available. Okay, let's start perhaps from the latest content. Okay, so if we go to the Explorer, I was speaking to the SQS and RDS, right? So if we go to our Explorer, if we go to one of the regions that we support, so you will see the SQS added over here. So there's like a couple of dashboards over there. So on the that has been released like a quarter ago, while those RDS dashboards will show in a minute. This has been released like end of November. So basically for the SQS, yeah, we have like a generic dashboards for all the SQ for the on the high level for SQS. So you will see like a couple of honeycombs related to the number of received, sent, deleted, and empty messages, right? So overall counts of them. So if you see immediately like over here, there's like a quite a big average age of the message, like it's over 15 seconds. It might already ring a bell and make you think of some kind of there's like some issue and needs to be troubleshooted, right? So the count messages per queues, right? Overall, so those are metrics based panels. And then we have a couple of audit events. So we just like kind of event distribution, events location, type of the users, event by event type, by queue, by users, and top to 10 users using the putting the messages on queue, right? So that would be like a high level dashboard for SQS. And then if we go on the specific particular QU level, there was like a couple of there's like audit events. So sorry for the duplication, but so there's like again QU stats, more detailed dashboards based on metrics. If you like to go and inspect specific QU that has a problem, same more elaborate dashboards on events, right? So there's a bit more dashboards about successful and error nails event. Let's not leave but like a threat intel. So there's like a potential malicious activities related to your SQS. So that was added quarter ago. And yeah, so a part of SQS, we have also RDS enhancements, right? So we have like generic. This app has been available for some time already, so generic stats about utilization, free memory, and so on. So kind of metrics-based panels. Again, some cluster details, resource utilization, free memory, those kind of stuff, performance insights that's available. We have a couple of sorry, yeah, I might need to look for different org. I hope that's over here. Let's go to RDS. Oh, not this one. Oh, I might. Apologies for that. Just like need to change the or I think it was the right one. There should be those. Yeah. Sorry for confusion. Those are here. It was checking the wrong level. So yeah, on the RDS level, we have those pretty generic dashboards. But over here, if you go a bit more deeper, for the particular clusters, let's go for Aurora ones, and we have a couple of new dashboards over here. So we have like my MySQL logs overview, right? So there is like a overview of I would say that could help you to troubleshoot any kind of problems with your RDS and based on logs. So we start with error logs, so you can track failed authentications, right? There's like warnings, there's number of notice, so it's kind of notice information. Again, failed authentication from user location. Then we have like this is again summary on high level dashboards based on RDS logs, right? MySQL logs. Then like we can identify the slow queries, what's the amount of those slow queries, what are the top users that are firing those, slow queries by command types, top IPs, right, on a high level. Then and then again, audit logs, failed DB connections, the total number of connections, right, is again based on logs, right? So we utilize RDS logs to visualize that. User locations and connection type used for accessing the database. But obviously you can go much deeper. This is overview panel, right? So let's start with error log analysis. Again, it's as some of it's like bit repetition of the panels, but you see much more of them, right? So we have like again failed authentications, but here you have also details when, who, and where, right? And authentication type, you can also track who is like trying to authenticate to your database, and to see whether this is like expected or not. So trend, authentication failed by users, by hosts, and there's like outliers. You can also look for outliers. Check the log level, how many errors, how many warnings, how many nodes are there, the trend of the logs, top warnings, top notification events, recent warning events, aborted connections, right? So there's like process events. So plenty of out of the box dashboards based on logs. Cluster replication events, if there's like those happening, looks like there is like none of them. So then again, a high level error log analysis dashboards. Then if you'd like to analyze the slow queries, you also have it like here. So we have like number of slow queries, and again, very similar approach. And we are looking at different dimensions. Dimensions being top users, top IPs, by command type, the trend of those, how that compares to the yesterday. Obviously, that everything is like that customizable, so we can cherry pick the panels that you find most value in, right? And then the trend of queries, and then again, I think very appealing panel. Like it shows you those are example queries, like select series from my inventory. Pretty generic one, but this is like for you to see that we are able to track individual queries that takes too long, right? Right. So the average time it's over there, and users and how frequent those queries are executed. So those kind of dashboards, those kind of panels can help you isolate the queries and quickly look, quickly check when they are executed, and then you can then track it in your code and improve basically. Then we have like again audit log analysis, and again much more detailed view into the audit trail logs, right? So number of DB connections, failed connections, those information we can find over there. And again, multiple dimensions, right? Based on locations, but top active databases, top SQL statements, user management activities, so like kind of connection, dropping, creating tables, obviously. Drop activities, recent drop activities. So there's like anyone who's like removing some kind of data from database, this is the place that you can go to find out about that. And so basically auditing capabilities. So there's a couple of more. So audit log SQL statements. So yeah, again, top SQL commands, the trend of those commands. So how what are the different operations, different SQL commands trend, and data manipulation language like data definition language statements, right, and those kind of aspect. Yeah, TCL, DCL. Those tables here. So those queries are categorized into tables, right? So to foster the troubleshooting. Yeah, last but not least is like dashboard number 11. Yeah, and again, it's like a general log analysis. I would say so. Kind of repetition for that, but yeah, general logs. Command type trap. That's a different category of logs, where you can again see the more detailed breakdown into the connections. But that's basically a kind of repetition of what we had in previous dashboard. So yeah, something to choose always, and yeah, lots of out of the box content prepared, and there are obviously queries behind that you can just like go to and troubleshoot and look at that. Yeah. All right. So that would be like the latest. There will be latest content that we have added, and I think I can also move on now to the things that we have, like what I mentioned on the slides, like the workflow that we have prepared for users, like to engage them more with AWS Observability and help them to deploy AWSO. So basically, like I said, it's available for new users as well. But let's say if we go to the existing users, what they see in the app catalog, obviously they can choose AWS Observability, and obviously there's like link to the documentation. But obviously we do provide also this option, like whether you would like to deploy it with CloudFormation template and CLI. So Terraform is not yet available over here. We plan to add a dedicated workflow for Terraform, but obviously we do understand that Terraform deployments it's a bit more different, where you like picking the respective Terraform pieces of Terraform code, and you can define in your say own script. So that would be like this workflow will be also helping with you, but obviously the documentation is also there to help you deploy. But if you would like to, let's say, be guided to this workflow, so you can let's focus on the CloudFormation template. And if we go to install this app, obviously then we have like this kind of pre-selected like 3 steps approach, right? So first of all, we select region in which AWS Observability is available, right? So let's we can choose whatever over here. So those are all supported regions where you can install AWS Observability. So okay, let's choose one. Then obviously, if you are not sure whether your user has permissions to deploy the AWS Observability, we have a template over here. So that template is like helping you to validate whether you like authorize, whether we have enough permissions, right? So obviously those are all whatever we require and whatever we deploy in terms of AWS services needed to collect the data is described in our documentation. So that's one part of the story. But the other part of the story, you can go and check quickly with this tag. That's optional step, obviously. Check it's deploying a kind of couple of things, and then removes those just to make sure you can proceed with AWS Observability, right? Yeah. And then the last and the most important step is like deploy AWS. So we have also ways to track whether you are just like the progress with those chips. But obviously, if you select the region already, what you just need to do is like click this deploy button, deploy AWS Observability button. And if you click over here, it directs you to the pre-selected AWS region. So let's say this is like Mumbai. And obviously you don't need to do anything over here. Right, just like ensure that stack name is like unique. Right, and then obviously everything over here is pre-filled. You don't need to copy paste anything over here. So this kind of access ID and access keys created in the background for you and pre-filled to the CloudFormation template. All the org IDs and whatever, that's already pre-filled. So you don't need to do anything. So it's like a very very straightforward experience. And obviously we still leave a lot of options for the users to modify, whether they would like to use the Kinesis Firehose metric source or CloudWatch metric source, or none of those. They would like to have only logs, the namespaces, and all the stuff that's like pretty standard for AWS observability for some point of time for some time already. So basically, what just like we need to do is like acknowledge those two points and then create stack, right? So yeah, that's a kind of nice improvement, I think, for the users who would like to engage with AWS Observability and don't know what to follow the documentation. But overall, that would be it when it comes to the latest and greatest updates for AWS Observability. Yeah, we do have like continuous roadmap. We do plan to add more usability experience, more out of the box content, but that's yet to come. We are working on next set of features for AWS Observability to engage you with monitoring and troubleshooting. And yeah, we also came up with like a hub page, right, for AWS Observability as well, for logs and for logs and monitoring use cases. So just to start as well, enable users to find more about that, how to troubleshoot with logs, what are the examples, what are the services. So once you install the AWS Observability, you can see the new tab over here. We just like evangelize, right? The AWS topics and just like make it much more visible across the product. So those are changes that we are also adding. All right, so far so good. I think that will be all. I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.
That was amazing. I didn't know about that added tab in the home tab. That's a really helpful addition. So you said that appears when you have deployed AWS Observability, right?
Yes, basically, if you go to this page over here, if you go to App Catalog, obviously that's for most of the new users. So when you engage with Sumo for the first time, so if you go over here to the start free trial, if you set up a trial, then you'll be welcomed with kind of welcome page, and basically you will see the same workflow over here. That's for existing users, so it's either for new users or for existing. So once you click this button and click next, then you should see the hub, right? This kind of new tab, and obviously the idea of this is like to show the users how they can interact with AWS Observability, right? So while they wait for all the data to come in, for all the services to for all the resources to instantiate on AWS accounts, and then can watch a movie over there. What's AWS Observability? What's the Explorer? How to use that? They can also learn about how does the query language works, right? So there's like a couple of predefined. Obviously, once you install, you will have the panels, right? But it's like more to interact the users with that, and yeah, that's something new that we have launched also for reInvent this year.
Great. Thanks, Greg. We do have a question. When you deploy observability, it looks like you deployed to one AWS account. If we have multiple accounts, do we have to deploy it into multiple accounts as well?
Yes, that there are, you can use stack linking, right? So there is like this, by the way, we'll be also coming up with a workflow for that, just like to facilitate and just like speed up this. But yeah, general answer is yes. You can use stack sets. Stack linking is Sumo. You can use stack sets, just like to deploy the same stack in multiple accounts. But also you can also AWS organizations, right? So so then it will be taken care of automatically once the new account is added over there, right? So but in general, yes, there's like a need to redeploy multiple accounts. And there are also AWS services that help you to streamline that, right? So for instance, CloudTrade data can be streamed to one particular account, AWS account, and then can be streamed to Sumo. I think similar things is also available for metrics. There's like an AWS features that can also help you to route the metrics to one AWS account, to one kind of parent account, and then streamline to Sumo. So that those kind of features on the AWS side also helps to streamline that.
Thanks, Greg. Emily, let us know if you need further clarification on that answer. Okay, she said thanks. So next question, I'm already a Sumo customer, but I don't have observability installed. How can I know if there's a cost or if this is already covered with my plan? Where can I find those details? I can actually take that, Greg. So Alfonso, what you can do is you can either email me. Actually, no, I can look you up in our accounts and I can find out who your account manager is, and I'll let them know that you were inquiring. But just as a general answer to your question, if you are on our Enterprise Suite account or our Enterprise Observability account with your contract, then you will have access to this already. And then as far as the cost, every customer is using credits in their contract for all parts of Sumo. So it'll just use the credits that you have in your contract. But I will take a personal follow-up for you, Alonso, and let your account manager know that you were inquiring. And then you had a second question. Once the observability is installed, can I just enable for a few services as Lambdas and Incognito? Greg?
Okay, can you repeat Lambda and?
Incognito.
And we do have support for Lambda. For Cognito, not yet. I mean, we can collect, obviously, if you go to app catalog and just like show over here the Cognito. So we don't have an app, a dedicated out-of-the-box app, but obviously, if you go over here, we have like documentation prepared. That's also a recent add-on. And it's basically saying what kind of logs and metrics type you can ingest to Sumo, and what are the sources that you can also use. So obviously there is like no app for that, but obviously the data can be streamed. And for Lambda, we have obviously a dedicated one of the most popular services. So yeah, it's part of AWS Observability, and then we have a couple of dashboards related to that. Yeah, we have Lambda over here, right? So yeah, we do have metrics and logs related to Lambda.
Great, thank you. And then another question, is there support for Azure?
There is support in terms of collecting telemetry and logs and metrics, but we don't have yet this kind of solution comparable to AWS Observability. So we don't have anything like Azure Observability. So then you need to rely on individual, collecting individual logs and metrics, and then building the dashboards on your own. We have a couple of security-oriented dashboards for Azure, but for observability, that's still to come.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions from the group? We'll just give it a minute or so in case anyone's typing something. What's the difference between Amazon Cloud Search versus observability at a high level?
I think you mean open search probably. Yeah, so that's open search is like AWS product, which actually enables you also to route your logs and metrics, if I recall correctly, and then just like you can use open search to just like query your data in the same way like you can use Sumo. So I would say in a simple words, like a pretty competitive product, but obviously I wouldn't be like comparing them to the features, obviously, but I would say I would if we think of open search, that's a kind of we are addressing this similar and use case, because it's something, it's a service that you can ingest your data and then query, and obviously you can also query the telemetry data as well, right? So that's kind of I would say addressing a similar use case.
Oh, so I guess Amazon Cloud Search is what he did mean, not open search.
Okay.
And it looks like Cloud Search is in our app catalog. I'm going to look real quick right now. Okay. Okay, yeah, Greg, if you go into your Sumo and you go to the catalog and type in Cloud Search, there's an app, out of the box app we have there. So he's asking what's the difference between that app and our AWS Observability.
Yeah. Okay. And observability. Yeah. So that's so if you go to app catalog, but basically the cloud search, why it's there, because it basically means that you can collect cloud search service related logs and metrics to Sumo, and then you can use obviously not AWS Observability as it's observability of cloud search can be done with Sumo logic, right? So that's how we can understand that, right? Because there are like multiple services that expose telemetry and expose logs, right? So you can observe any AWS service that expose those telemetry with Sumo logic, right? And then AWS Observability, based on the data that we have, based on this telemetry, based on the logs and searches, provide you with out-of-the-box dashboards. But those AWS Observability is not supporting, I would say, there are no out-of-the-box dashboards and monitors for cloud search. But you can ingest cloud search related logs and metrics from AWS to Sumo, and then you can see whether there is like any problem with your cloud search service, right? By querying those logs, by looking at those metrics, and then do further investigations, right? So that's how you can interpret and understand. And so the app catalog means what are the AWS services you can observe in Sumo.
Great. I think that was great. He said, okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Thank you.
It's not an app that you can install and then there's like cloud search app you can, yeah, just like exactly that's how it goes. I totally understand, it might be confusing, but yeah.
Great. All right. Any other questions from the group? Going once, going twice. Okay, we can go ahead and call it. Let me go ahead and stop the recording.